Hello, welcome to Zim Capture. I'm inventor Dan Zen. And Zim at zimjs.com is an open source framework to make interactive media on the HTML canvas using JavaScript and Create.js. In this capture, we're going to take a look at how we can make things in a loop. And that gives us efficiencies. We can make 1,000 monsters all at once. So let's go into the code, take a look. The first thing we want to do is make a container to hold all these things that we're making, because often we're making the same type of thing and later we might want to control those, like find out if they're hitting something or put a click on them or make them all disappear at once as we go somewhere else, that kind of thing. So it's best to store them in a container. How about we store some droids? Yeah, we'll make some droids is equal to a new zim.container. Like so. And we'll add that to the stage, stage.add child droids. And that adds them up there at 0, 0. And now we can loop, and within the loop, we'll make new droids, and we'll add them to this container called droids. So we could use a traditional loop like for round brackets var I equals 0, semicolon I is less than or equal to 10. Well, let's do more, 50 droids, semicolon, and keep on looping each time. And here we are. So we could use a traditional for loop, but I struggle to get through that every time. It's just like, oh, glog, glog, glog. So instead of doing that, I'm going to use a Zim loop, zim.loop. And in round brackets, we say, hey, I want 50, and we're going to call this function. There. And so we'll call this function 50 times. And in this function, we can make our droids. Var droid equals a new zim dot, what would be best? Rectangle, circle, or triangle? How about a triangle? Triangle. So there's a default triangle. And we will add this now to the droids. So droids dot add child. Our little droid. Oh, baby droid. Oh, so cute. There we go. We've made 50 droid triangles and added them to droids, which is our container up here. So we'll see them all stacked in the top left corner. Shall we take a look at them? And we view in browser. There they are, a bunch of little droids. So let's scatter them across the droid landscape. Scatter them across the white void of space. These are droids in the void. Voids of droids. So, okay, where the heck was I? So, scattering them, yes. Okay, so droid.x is equal to zim.rand and stage width. So that will randomize them across the stage width. We'll just cut that and paste it, and then paste it again here. Y, so now we change the droid's Y position across the stage height. Now this won't quite work right, but we'll get the idea. So we save that and refresh. And now we positioned a bunch of droids, but some of them are going off the stage there. If we refresh, see they're off the stage and off the top. And that's because, let's take a look at where the registration point of these droids are. Droid, can't remember, I think we usually do that after we add it to the stage. Droid.reg, oops, droid.outline is how you do that. That's a Zim function to outline and show registration point and origin. And we can see that they're in the center there. So we'll want to make sure that we move the register, like we move the position of these droids over half the width and back half the width and down half the height and up. Okay, so let's do that. We no longer need that anymore. Thank you very much, though. And now we're going to take a random number, the droid dot width divided by 2, comma, stage width minus droid dot width divided by 2. And we copy that, paste it for the stage height, and we change that to height like so, and this one is the stage height. There we go. So now we're randomizing, we're making sure that the droid fits within the stage. Now note, we do this sometimes when we make bounds for dragging, but when we apply the bounds for dragging, this other parameter is the width of the rectangle in which we can drag. So the width of the rectangle which we could drag is not the droid width divided by 2. That would be minus the droid width. But anyway, don't worry about that too much since we're not dragging at the moment. Okay, so there they all are. Let's try it out and see if these stay within the stage a little bit better, these droids of ours. Yeah, that looks good. There they all are in there. Now, aside from positioning in a random way, we can also build these things out in a random way, and that's nice. For instance, we could adjust their size. Now, this is a triangle with 3 side lengths, but by default, I think they're 60 or something like that. So let's do a zim.rand of, how about between 100, well, sure, we could do 60, I guess, between 60 and 120. So that's one size. Now, if we just pass in nulls for the other sides, then it will just take this one side and make triangles with that. And then we also have a color. Hey, we can play around with the color too. For now, why don't we just store a color out here? Color equals frame dot blue. Blue droids. Blue is a property stored in the frame object that gives us a Zim color of blue. So we're randomizing the side, or how big the sides are, in a sense, because it'll take that same side across all 3 sides. We're applying the color of blue to our droid. And we refresh here. There we have a bunch of randomly sized blue droids disguised as a Christmas tree field. Yes. All right, perhaps we could add, I don't know, some sort of visor or something like that to the droid so it looks a little bit crazy. How about we'll continue though and randomize the color here. Why don't we make an array of colors for these droids? So frame dot gray, frame dot silver, frame dot tin. Great droid colors. And one blue droid. Okay, so there's an array of classic droid colors. And instead of saying give me the color, we'll ask for colors. Now we need a random number. One easy way for me to get a random number here in Zim is zim dot shuffle. So if we shuffle the array, so we're going to shuffle colors, and then we just ask for the 0 element of the shuffled array. So each time we shuffle those colors and get the first element. And let's see what this gives us. Refresh. It gives us something broken. What have we done wrong? Colors, plural. There we go. Did we var that ever? No, we didn't. Oopsies. That would be bad news. Var colors. And we save that and refresh. Okay, fine. Maybe that's not quite as exciting as I thought it was going to be with all these grays. How about we go to green? Blue, we've got blue already. We could make pink droids. Orange droids. There's such a thing as an orange droid. Oh, BB-8. BB-8 was an orange droid. Oh yeah, look, we've got like droids from the 80s. Woohoo, 80s droids. Okay, great. Let's give them visors. All right, visors. Well, we could just do rectangles. So var rect, well, var visor, why not, is equal to a new zim dot rectangle. Like the tangled up in writing rectangle. And how big should we make this rectangle? How much space do we need to type the rectangle is another question. So here we have rectangle. We can give it a width of something like the droid dot width divided by 2 maybe. That's too bad because the visor will probably stay within the droid. I think it might be pretty cool to have like a visor that is so big it goes outside the droid. But anyway, that's the width divided by 2. And, well, that would make them all look the same thing. Sort of, I don't know, well, whatever. And then the height is, can make all of them be 50. There, and black is fine for a visor color, I suppose. So we save that and refresh here. Oh, we made the visor super, but we didn't add the visor to the droid. So we shall do that. We will say droid. Well, why don't we center it on it? Actually, the center of, or the registration point and the origin, I'm not sure. If we put this inside of the triangle, well, let's center it on the triangle. And also let's center the registration point of it. So that would look like visor. Well, maybe it doesn't matter. I suppose it doesn't matter if all we're doing is centering it in there. So visor.center on the droid, and we'll let Zim do all of that calculation for us, which is nice. Okay, so visor.center on the droid, and we refresh this. And now those are sucky visors. I think our height we chose being too big. It's more like, here are the droids. They are bringing you Christmas presents. Blackly wrapped Christmas presents from Darth Vader. Yeah, the droids bring you gifts from Darth Vader. Oh boy, that's silly. Okay, so maybe that's a bit too tall for visors. We could make it dependent on the width, but let's just drop it to a 20 and perhaps these will look like visors. Much better. Oh yes, there are droids with visors, no doubt. All right, that's kind of fun. Droids with visors, super. So we saw that within a loop, and we could have done this with a traditional loop as well, but within a Zim loop, we have added some droids. We've adjusted what the droids look like in a variety of ways, often with using ZimRand. We've positioned the droids on the stage in different places. We've even added a visor to the droid, something, of course, that you would want to do in your code. And we've got all those on our stage in the void, droids in the void. I'm inventor Dan Zen here at Zim Capture. Have a great day. In future captures, we're going to take a look at doing things with these droids, like, well, who knows? We will see, but we'll loop through them. We'll do some hit tests on them, that kind of stuff. Ciao.